Howdy, everyone. I'm Connor Tyndall, joined by Jacob Murphy,
Hey.
and welcome to Current Events episode 5, right?
No way, it's 5.
Something like that. There's a number after the episode name.
We'll
so
go
we'll
with
be
4.
good. Yeah,
Be safer about it.
yeah. All right, first thing we're going to talk about today. Jacob, would you like to take this, or?
Yeah, there's been...
Oh, wait. We got to open with Florida Man.
Oh, yeah, okay. So we always usually open with our Florida Man segment, and there haven't been a lot of, well, what I've been looking up, there's been a lot of good ones, how Florida Man's always, if you Google that,
There haven't been any recent Florida
they're
Men
they're pretty
happenings.
funny. So the funniest one we could find was a Florida man was charged with a DUI after striking a police cruiser with his lawnmower.
He said, F it, I'm drunk, take me to jail, after he drove his lawnmower into the side of a police cruiser. So, I guess that's something.
Police say
I don't
Gary
really-
Anderson was driving his lawnmower drunk when he rode into a police cruiser that was parked and unoccupied, causing minor damage.
He had like a little trailer. Look, he had a little trailer.
Yeah,
attached
I'm
to
not
it.
sure why he had a trailer. This is an accurate picture of his lawnmower. He hit it. Yeah, he hit the back of the police cruiser in Haines City on Saturday night.
And he got a DUI.
68 year old Gary Anderson had a blood alcohol level 3 times legal limit, according to reports.
Would that even affect your license? Because you don't need a license to drive a lawnmower. But he was charged with a DUI, so...
Because a DUI, you can be charged with DUI if you're driving any motor vehicle. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah, but did he get points on his license for that?
I'm not sure what that would be. Officer was on a call and heard a loud bang from inside a store, Fox 13 in Tampa reported.
His blood alcohol level was 3 times the legal limit.
Congratulations, Connor. I already said that.
Yeah, I'm just repeating it for emphasis because that's a lot.
He's
quite a lot.
He's lying, I think. I think he just wasn't paying attention.
All right, next thing we're going to talk about today. Iran inches away from the nuclear deal. You hear anything about that?
I don't usually pay attention to international politics. I usually pay attention to... I really pay attention to national politics.
Yeah, I just get breaking news alerts on my phone. So
I turn those off.
Tehran, I think is how you say that, threatens to resume higher enrichment of uranium in 60 days if world powers fail to negotiate new terms for its 2015 nuclear deal. So, Iran is threatening us again, looks like. So, I don't know how well that's going to blow over this time.
What's new? Aren't they always threatening us? I also want to talk about, there have been 2 school shootings in the past, 5 days?
Not even like 3.
No.
Because there were 2 in 1
No,
day.
it wasn't 5 days. 2 in one day?
Yeah, there were
What?
3 recently, and there were 2 in 1 day.
What was the other one? Well, the one that was confirmed is 2 people were shot on UNC Charlotte's campus. I think that
2 dead,
one
4
was...
injured.
I think it was last Monday. 2 people were shot and killed. 6 people were shot, but only 2 of them died so at UNC Charlotte, I know one of their names was Riley. I'm currently forgetting their names, but the fact that there have been 2 school shootings in a week is ridiculous. I think one person was killed at a STEM school. It was a STEM middle school in Colorado. That was yesterday.
Yeah, 2 high school students shot and killed a classmate and injured 8 others at a charter school that's just miles from Columbine. So, I mean, I don't think that's really related that it's just miles from Columbine, but
I don't really think it is, but
that's it. Like you said, that's kind of kind of ridiculous. It's getting crazy. And I know us saying
So
something on a
stupid.
high school podcast isn't going to change much as far as the political atmosphere goes and etc. But it's still ridiculous.
Yeah,
when
I
you think
mean,
about it.
school shootings used to be like one would happen every 5 years, and it would make news for 3 months straight. But now they're like, oh, there's a school shooting today, and on to the next story, because that's how frequent they're getting. And we shouldn't be talking about school shootings like, the regular Joe Blow down the road got a DUI. It's
Yeah,
it's getting ridiculous.
I remember when I used to be able to just walk in and out of school. Now I have to swipe my student ID at the door and go through metal detectors if there's some form of event.
Yeah,
and
it's
that sort of thing, which is we shouldn't have to do, because this is, we live in like a relatively suburban area.
yeah,
This is
yeah. I remember
this should be a relaxed.
remember
like,
being
part of
able
town.
to walk into school and not have to remember where all the exits were,
Yeah.
and just be able to go to school and actually sometimes enjoy yourself, which I find hard to do at school now. It's getting crazy. And the fact that the UNC Charlotte one happened just 2 hours away from where we are
Yeah, that's
is
not even
also crazy.
not even a significant drive away from us.
No.
So
I mean-
that's a little jarring.
Yeah.
All right, next thing we're gonna mention today.
I want to talk about this, to move into something a little more lighthearted. I want to talk about the Game of Thrones mistake that made Starbucks $2 billion. So, Game of Thrones, obviously the most popular television show in the past 10 years, that and like The Walking Dead.
I've never watched Game of Thrones, but
So-
I know
well,
what you're talking about.
If you don't know
here.
what, if you don't know what Game of Thrones is an HBO show. It's kind of like Lord of the Rings, almost, kind of, pretty much the same thing.
season like what 8?
This is season 10,
10,
I think.
9?
It's
I
season 10.
I don't know.
But the episode that aired on Sunday, people, you don't even really have to be paying that close of attention, because the picture they show in the news story, it's very obvious. There was a modern day coffee cup left on the table, and of course this is supposed to take place in like the same age Lord of the Rings took place. It's medieval. It's everything's lit by candles. There's no electricity. There's no indoor plumbing, and so now there's
A major director's flaw. I don't know how he missed that.
and so people on the internet started to speculate that it was a Starbucks cup. So people at Starbucks estimated that they made $2.5 billion in free advertising.
Over $2 billion in free advertising because the director left a coffee cup
And
in the
it
set.
and it wasn't even a Starbucks cup. It was
It was just a cup, wasn't it?
it was a coffee cup from, well, how every like TV set or movie set has like
like a coffee machine.
they don't have a coffee machine, but they have like a caterer
Yeah.
or like
Yeah, I know
or a
what you're
place where
talking
everyone
about.
go eat, almost like a cafeteria. Well, that's where the coffee cup came from. So it wasn't even a Starbucks cup,
It was just a cup.
and Starbucks made $2 billion because of like
Because
3
of the
second
internet.
3 seconds in a scene from a feast in an episode of Game of Thrones. I don't even watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I've never watched it, but mostly because I don't want to pay for HBO now.
Well, yeah.
But
To my knowledge, Game of Thrones has something to do with these families are fighting over the right
I'm not gonna
to
comment on
rule
it.
something.
I'm not gonna speculate because I don't want to sound dumb.
Yeah, I don't want to mess that up and then get yelled at and be like, "That's not what Game of Thrones is about." I just want to know what happens in the end. I just want to know,
I'm
like,
pretty sure everybody else wants to know what happens in the end too, since
That's
the
the thing.
season is still going.
well, I don't want to watch the show. I just want to know, like, who wins, basically.
All right, next story. Next story we're gonna mention today is the Uber and Lyft drivers are planning like a joint strike. So the drivers from the ride-hailing giants are planning to turn off their apps in major U.S. cities to protest what they say are declining wages. Now, I can actually sympathize with this a bit because I have seen people, like, I do know of people who do, like, Uber as, like, their full-time job. Like, they don't have anything else.
Full time?
Yeah.
Like they just drive Uber for
Basically,
like
they're-
9
I mean,
hours
they're
a day?
basically taxi drivers, yeah. And they do that to, like, feed their family and stuff. And I remember, in fact, I'll go ahead and look it up right now. But I remember last time I looked at it, they only make, like, 10 an hour. So,
Well, so, we're high schoolers, so we're all looking for summer jobs. And I thought about trying to be an Uber driver until I found out that with Uber, before you pick someone up, you don't know where you're taking them. So I could pick up someone 15 minutes away in Garner
and drive
and then
20
drive them
minutes.
to Miami because I
Oh.
didn't know that's where they're trying to get to.
I don't know about Miami, but
Yeah, there have been instances of that. Like people get like professional
I mean,
athletes,
they'll
they get
pay you.
they get
So,
stuck at airports. So this like I think it was a baseball player ordered an Uber in Chicago, and so he had this Uber driver drive from Chicago to Brooklyn, which is like a 10-hour drive.
I mean, he paid him, right?
I mean, he
Like,
paid him, but still, though, if
so-
you live in Chicago and you're like, I'm just gonna drive, I do Uber part time. I drive for like 4 hours a day, and all of a sudden you're stuck driving 16 hours to Brooklyn and back to Chicago.
According to Glassdoor, the average hourly pay for an Uber driver is 15, so it has went up. But
Well, I don't think
they're
it's
talking
like
about going on
I don't
strike.
think it's like a salary. I think it depends. It's like per ride or something like that. Because
well, yeah,
it depends on the
their
distance.
hourly. So like you get up and you would clock in to your and put the sticker on your car.
Also, from what I hear, is that Lyft is better than Uber.
I haven't tried either of them because I have my own car. So
Yeah, and plus we live in a small town, so there's really no point.
my parents did use Uber when they went to Durham one night, and they said it was like a better taxi
Well, like,
service, basically.
My
So
my dad has an Uber account because he travels all the time. So like when he's in Europe, it's
He
easier
needs
to
an
use
Uber, yeah.
it's easier to use Uber than like hail a taxi. Like last time I was in an Uber, we were in Boston. So I mean, Uber's more for like big cities or tourists because if you're living at home and you live like us, in a
if you live in-
medium-sized, I won't call it a small town, in a medium-sized area, and you have your own car, it's
Yeah.
just easier to drive.
Yeah, like I have a job and I have a car, so I don't really.
Yeah, it's
there's
just
not really a
easier to
need-
drive.
Last thing I think we'll mention for today is the Cubs are investigating a fan's offensive hand gesture. Did you hear about that?
I know the Cubs and the Mets always have problems with fans and like fan gestures. Because I think the Cubs banned someone not that long ago for using like racial slurs in the stadium or something.
It says here the Chicago Cubs say they're investigating a fan using what appeared to be an offensive hand gesture associated with racism behind a black television reporter who was on air.
Associated with.
The reporter was Doug Glanville, a former major league outfielder who played 3 seasons for the Cubs.
Yeah, so he was probably doing like a post-game thing.
Cubs president of business operations Crane Kenny said in a statement early Wednesday that the incident occurred during Tuesday night's game between the Miami Marlins and Chicago at Wrigley Field. He says a person made the gesture while Glanville was working for NBC Sports Chicago. So that's just stupid. That's just unnecessary.
Some people are dumb. I don't understand why you pay.
Yeah, he had to go out of his way to do this. That's the
You
thing.
pay probably $50 or more for cheap seats at Wrigley
Yeah,
Field.
for
It's
like
most-
the basic tickets.
It's
at-
the most historic ballpark in America. So I mean, you pay tons of money. It's like $7 for soda or whatever.
Yeah, I've only been to like 2 baseball games because
So
everything
you're
just
gonna be
costs so
out
much.
$100 if you get a hot dog, a drink, plus pay for parking, and a ticket. And then you go and you make one dumb gesture after the game at a TV reporter, and now you're never going to be able to go to a Cubs game again.
You go out of your way to make a racist hand gesture on live TV.
And if you don't think that if you get banned from Wrigley Field that you're not going to get banned from most other MLB parks.
And they said it was a permanent ban. So.
Yeah, you're going to get banned from other MLB parks too, because every owner in Major League Baseball knows every other owner. So you're going to get banned. If you get banned from Wrigley Field, you're probably going to get banned from like Yankee Stadium and Fenway, and you're going to get banned from other parks because no other team's going to want you in their stadium now. So because of one stupid gesture, now you can't go to any baseball game ever. So congratulations.
All right. Well, I think that's everything for
Actually,
today.
it's not. I want to talk about the royal baby.
The royal baby. All right, you can have that.
So Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, who got married, not that long ago?
I don't know. I don't keep up with England's affairs. I've got my own affairs to deal with.
It's kind of fun to talk about. So Meghan Markle and Prince Harry got married like a year ago. So Meghan Markle is an American actress, and of course Prince Harry's a prince of England, or where. I don't know all their titles. He's probably like the Duke of wherever. But they just had a kid. And that's pretty much the whole story.
Yeah, that's it. That's why I didn't want to talk about it.
What? I mean, come on. Why not?
The Prince of England got married to this chick and had a baby.
Hey, man, to some people, that's a big deal.
Yeah, but, I mean, do you know how many babies are born, like, every second?
How many movies are born? You know how many movies are born every second? You know, movies come out every single day, and we talk about movies for, like, an hour? So, I mean...
Famous movies. So, I guess famous people. I think that's all we have for today. So, I'm Connor, once again joined by Jacob Murphy.
Yeah, we talked about a lot today. Between Florida Man segment to the Royal Baby to tragedy. So, we try to cover a lot in these current events podcasts. So, join us next week.
Thanks for listening.
We're either going to do... I'm trying to remember how much time we have left in, like, our school year.
We got just over a week.
So we're either going to do next week, we're going to be back for our Nostalgia Trip podcast, or our associate Michelle wants to do an ASMR podcast. So we might be doing that. Also listen to Zach and Grant's
Fast and Curious.
Zach and Grant's Fast and Curious podcast, the one they did yesterday about hippos.
Is that what that was?
Yeah, I'm serious. It's about hippos. Listen to our podcasts. Listen next week. I hope you enjoyed it. Peace.
We'll see you guys in a few days, I guess.